Your cat is sitting on the bookshelf. You're at your desk. She's been there for minutes now, completely still. No pacing, no shifting, barely blinking, just watching you. You glance over. She doesn't look away. You turn back to your work. But now you can feel it. That steady, unbroken focus aimed directly at you. Most people explain this in simple ways. They say it's affection, or maybe curiosity, or even a quiet kind of territorial control. And yes, those ideas aren't entirely wrong. But they're not what's really happening. Because what you're seeing in that moment is something much older, much more precise. A system inside your cat that never fully shuts off. A visual and neurological process built for survival that is now quietly directed at you. And the real reason behind it sounds nothing like love. Number 1. The predatory gaze that never turns off. In 2019, researchers at the University of Tokyo ran a controlled study observing how domestic cats track movement in their environment. Using eye-tracking technology across 58 cats, they discovered something fascinating. Cats often enter what's called a stationary vigilance state. During this state, they lock onto a single target and monitor it with almost no visible eye movement. Not for seconds, for minutes. On average, between 11 and 14 minutes before shifting focus. That's not casual observation. That's precision tracking. Because here's the key difference. Cats don't watch the way humans watch. They track. They measure. They analyze movement patterns in real time. Your cat isn't just looking at you. She's mapping you. Every small shift in your posture, every change in your breathing, the rhythm of your typing, even the subtle moment before you stand up. This is the same system an ambush predator uses in the wild. Because for predators like cats, understanding movement is everything. And in your home, you are the most complex moving object in their territory. Number 2. They watch you differently than everyone else. Now here's where it gets even more specific. In 2021, researchers at the University of Lincoln studied how cats visually respond to their owners compared to strangers. They analyzed pupil dilation, head positioning, and gaze duration. And what they found changes everything about how you interpret that stare. When cats looked at unfamiliar people, their pupils widened more. Their posture became slightly more alert. Classic signs of caution. But when they looked at their owners, something unexpected happened. Their pupils were 34% less dilated. Their eye position relaxed. But at the same time, their gaze lasted 22% longer. Think about that for a second. They were more relaxed, yet more focused. Which means your cat isn't staring at you because they're tense. They're staring at you because you're important. Important enough to monitor. Without fear. They're not preparing to react. They're collecting information, learning your patterns, refining their understanding of you, quietly building a model of how you move, act, and exist in their world. And once you realize that, that silent stare from across the room stops feeling random. Because it's not passive. It's active, deliberate, and far more intelligent than it looks. They're reading you. Number 2, the social referencing system. There's a second thing happening underneath that predatory tracking. In 2017, researchers at Oregon State University conducted a study on 79 cats to measure social referencing behavior. The same behavior seen in human infants and dogs where they look to a trusted figure to interpret ambiguous situations. They placed cats in rooms with novel objects and measured how often the cats looked back at their owners before approaching. 61% of cats tested demonstrated clear social referencing, almost exactly the same proportion found in human toddlers. But here's where it gets really interesting. A companion study in 2020 by Dr. Christopher Vitali at Oregon State measured how long cats maintain visual contact with their owners even when nothing ambiguous is happening. They found that securely attached cats, those who showed comfort-seeking behavior in separation tests, spent an average of 9.3 minutes per hour simply watching their owner during normal activity. Not because something is wrong, because you are their social anchor. From your cat's perspective, monitoring you is how they maintain emotional regulation. You are the reference point they check to confirm that the environment is stable. Number 3, the neurological attachment map. What's actually happening in your cat's brain during these long stares was partially revealed in a 2018 study from Aba University in Japan. Researchers used urinary oxytocin measurements to track bonding hormone levels in cats after various interactions with their owners. They found that mutual gazing, where cat and owner maintain eye contact, increased oxytocin levels by 12% in cats, but only when the cat initiated the gaze. When owners stared first, oxytocin levels remained unchanged or slightly decreased. This tells us something crucial about the stare from across the room. Your cat is choosing to activate their own bonding response. They're not waiting for you to look. They're generating the neurological reward themselves by watching you. A more recent layer to this comes from a 2022 study at Loren University, which used fMRI imaging on cats while they viewed their owners versus strangers. The chordate nucleus, the part of the brain associated with reward and positive expectations, showed increased activation when cats saw their owners. But the activation pattern was different from dogs. In dogs, it spiked quickly and dropped. In cats, it maintained a steady, elevated state. The watching isn't a momentary emotional burst. It's a sustained state of positive association. Number 4, the territorial monitoring instinct. Your cat is also doing something that has nothing to do with affection or hunting practice. In 2016, researchers at the University of Bristol studied the territorial behavior of 86 outdoor access cats using GPS collars and found that cats mentally divide their territory into core zones and peripheral zones, spending 71% of their time monitoring core zones, even when no threat is present. Inside your home, you are the most dynamic element in your cat's core territory. You move between rooms. You open doors. You bring in objects from outside. A study from 2020 by Dr. John Bradshaw at the University of Bristol found that indoor cats direct an average of 43% of their monitoring behavior toward their human family members compared to just 12% toward other pets in the household. You are not just a companion in this framework. You are the variable that requires the most surveillance. When your cat watches you from across the room without approaching, they are performing a territorial audit. They're updating their mental map of where you are, what you're doing, and whether your behavior patterns have changed. Any change in your routine, your posture, your activity level becomes data they need to process. Number 5, the distance paradox. There's something important about the distance itself. In 2019, researchers at Lincoln University studied the proximity preferences of 120 cats in relation to their owners and found something that contradicts the common assumption that affectionate cats always want to be close. Cats categorized as securely attached actually spent more time at a distance of 1.5 to 4 m from their owners than insecurely attached cats who showed either extreme proximity seeking or extreme avoidance. The securely attached cats were comfortable enough to monitor from a distance. They didn't need physical contact to maintain the bond. A follow-up study in 2021 measured cortisol levels in cats at various distances from their owners during normal home activity. Cats showed the lowest stress markers, not when being petted or held, but when positioned 2 to 3 m away with a clear line of sight. The distance is not emotional coldness. The distance is confidence. Your cat watches from across the room because they've determined that this specific distance gives them the optimal combination of social connection and environmental awareness. They can see you, track you, and maintain their own autonomy simultaneously. The next time your cat is watching you from across the room, here's what's actually happening. Their predatory visual system is running a background scan of your movements, cataloging your patterns in case they ever need to predict where you'll be. Their social referencing system is checking you as an emotional barometer, confirming that the environment is safe and stable. Their bonding neurochemistry is generating a sustained positive state just from observing you, a reward they're giving themselves for maintaining the connection. Their territorial monitoring instinct is updating their cognitive map of their space with you as the most important moving variable. And their attachment system is demonstrating security by maintaining the exact distance that gives them both connection and independence. 5 simultaneous processes, none of them simple affection, none of them cold surveillance. When you catch your cat's eye from across the room, you're not interrupting anything. You're confirming what they already know, that you see them seeing you, that the loop is complete. If this changed how you understand what your cat is doing right now, subscribe for more research-backed explanations of the behaviors you see every day. And tell me in the comments, does your cat have a favorite watching spot? The science says they probably have several, each chosen for a different monitoring purpose.